Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Twitch chat, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to watch a stream, nor have you been called here by the streamer you assume, although you have indeed been called here. You have all been called here, into a stream of stories and tangents, misdirection and misfortune, a labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for content has driven you in endless scrolling, chasing the cries of VTubers in some unseen stream, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. Well, you have found them. All of you have. This is where our story begins. This place will be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to form. And to you lurkers trapped in the chat, be still and give your attention, for this is what you lurk for. For most of you, I believe there are smiles and perhaps more waiting for you after the debut ends. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of kick has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the viewbots waiting, old friend. It's time to start, for us and for all those to watch the VOD in the future. This starts for all of us. Begin debut.
And there we go. Hello, everyone. And that's how you make an entrance. Oh, we're not even slideshow. Let's go. Wow. Look at that. I'm so good at this. I forgot to put the thing in the slideshow. That was my one job while I was playing. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the official Overmind debut. I'm going to be real with everyone here. I don't know what this is anymore. This is about 3 different iterations in of what my debut was supposed to be. So we're going to figure out what this is together. So, yeah, here we go. Let me put me in the corner a little bit more so you can see the lovely handmade slides. So, yeah, I'm a VTuber now. This may have come to a shock to some people, because I wasn't one last week. But yeah, hey everyone, I'm a VTuber now, and I have no clue what I'm doing with this debut. However, I had a few ideas for what we could do here, and I'd like to go over my ideas I had before I actually tell you what we're doing tonight. So, what do I do for my debut? Idea one I had is I just do your standard like corporate VTuber slideshow. If you've seen the million of them, if you care about VTubers, you don't need. If you need an example, look up like Hololive debuts, and you'll figure it out. But yeah, that was idea one, and it turns out that idea one is very hard. It's a lot of work to make a slideshow that doesn't look horrible. I have no background music either, which kind of sucks for that. I mean, you can get royalty-free stuff, but that's kind of not my vibe. And honestly, like, just a regular, like, slideshow isn't my thing. I don't think it'd be a good intro to me. If you need an example of how I like doing setups, here, I'll move over a bit. This is my current OBS setup. So, very nice and organized slideshow doesn't fit with how I roll. So let's go into other ideas I had. I had another idea which is really, really hard into lore. If you need to know what I mean by really hard into lore, there's a fantastic channel called 50fi3. They go really hard into lore there, so if you need to know what I mean by that, go there. But option 2 also didn't work. The biggest reason being, I have no lore. I'm just kind of here. Writing lore is very hard. Oop, I hit the mic. I don't think I can keep up a character either for a long period. Like, I can do a character for a bit, but if I were writing a bunch of lore for myself, I'd eventually write character, it wouldn't work. And there's also a bunch of things I want to talk about that being, like, super into lore and super in character wouldn't work. And that leads us to idea 3, which is, idea 3 was I go in with no debut, and I make the debut during my debut. We're not doing that, if you can tell, because I have slides prepped, but that was a fun idea. And the answer to that is no, because the point of a debut is you have things prepped, so you don't have to panic on the fly, because it's already nervous enough doing your debut. You don't need to make it during it. It doesn't let me ramble about video games, which is my favorite pastime as well. And it would need me to actually understand how to make a debut, which I don't. And that led me to idea 4, which is what we're doing tonight. We're doing all of them. If one of those debut ideas was good somewhere, I thought, we could do them all at once and it'll be way better. It lets me do whatever I want, and it means anyone who wanted to watch any of the previous three ideas can stay here and watch them. Oh man, what was I thinking? Why did I do this to myself? I don't know. This is some sort of unholy amalgamation at this point. I'm sorry for the next 40 minutes is going to be. Thanks, Vox. So, here we go, everyone. Here's the debut. I hope you're ready, because I'm certainly not. Here we go. We're starting off big with my lore. Here's my deep lore for everyone who cares about my VTuber lore. I'm not going to read it to you, because I assume you have functioning eyes. If you don't, well, I'm sorry about that then. Actually, it says I am sheep. There you go. But, yeah. Let's go right into my corporate VTuber slides. Here's my video game list of things I like. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to like lose it giggling because I can't believe I did this to myself. What do I like for video games? I like all video games that aren't horror video games. I've yet to meet a video game that isn't horror or some other niche thing that I don't like. Here's a list of some of them. Particularly notice Crosscode, my beloved, because I love Crosscode. If you've known me for 2 seconds, that's the first thing you should know about me, and you probably will have known about me. Woo, yeah, Vox, I know, woo! Look, it's either I keep going woo, 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 high energy, or I, like, curl up into a ball from nerves, and I thought this was better. Here's what I like that aren't video games, because I'm more than just a flat character. Just, I like board games too. There's a ton of great board games out there. I'd love to talk about them. I usually actually go for once a week to play board games with people because there's a bunch of good ones out there. I hope to introduce people to some good board games just for TTS and stuff while I stream. I like judo, which is probably something that throws a lot of people off. I actually was very into judo for a long time. I'm actually a blue belt in judo, which is a few years of effort. I like talking, which is good because I'm now a streamer, so it's good I like talking. Let me put my head over to the right so you can see the last options. There we go. I don't need to read this. People can read your slides. First tip if you're in like business school or like any kind of school or college you have to do presentations. Don't just sit and read your slides. People can read them. You need to elaborate on your details in your slides that are interesting. I'm already on a tangent. No, I can't go into like presentation tangents in my presentation. Oh no. Anyways, where was I? Right. What I like planning things. This seems very disorganized and stuff, I know. This was all planned out for the most part. Which, I mean, maybe is a mark against me, but... Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the plan. I know that tangents are my thing, which is why... Speaking of things I forgot to do, I forgot to change the text color of Twitch chat. Oh, I'm a fraud. I'm such a fraud. There we go. Sorry, it's currently white on white. I changed to black and white. I like making very convoluted ideas. Like I like really confusing plans that don't make sense, because that's my strength. Okay, where was I? Right. What I don't like. I really do not like horror games. I am the biggest coward you've ever seen. Good luck pressuring me to play one on stream if you want to. Good luck. I'm also not the biggest fan of MMOs generally because they need a lot of commitment to them. And if I'm committing to a game, I like them to be fun and not because of some weird guild social hierarchy. I don't like the open world early access survival crafting games because if you see that on a Steam game, 9 times out of 10 it's shovelware or like an asset flip or something else similar. I'm not a huge competitive person, so I don't like anything hyper competitive. So that'd be your big stream games, your CS:GOs, your League of Legends, your Valorants. Most like actual sports too, I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, that's just me. I don't like things that fly and have stingers, which are mostly bees, wasps, and hornets. If it flies and has a stinger, it needs to stay away from me because that means it could reach me. And I don't like having to debut. I won't say this was a miserable experience. There were fun parts to it, but setting this whole thing up was like not something I want to go through again, despite how scuffed it is. Anyways, time for a part idea free to go back and do. I don't have to do it once. No, I have to do it a second time because I have to do it in like 2 years when I'm actually good at this. So why do you include your likes and dislikes in your debut when you're making it? If you add your likes to your debut, it allows the audience to immediately relate to you, like as a person, because they can be like, "Oh, they like that game. That's my favorite game," and you have an immediate parasocial connection there that you can use to draw in a viewer right off your debut. Your debut also can function with your likes and dislikes as a decent gauge for what you can stream. For example, you put a lot of a similar game genre into your likes. That's a good indication to likely stream games of that genre to a viewer. And conversely, your dislikes in your debut tell people what they can pressure you into for content. Your dislikes should not be things that you have a 0% chance of doing. There should be things that you don't like, but you know you could get forced into for content. Wasp horror game? I would kill whoever like made me play that. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted having to think about the consequences of having to do that one day. Anyways, what am I going to do for content? Smiley face. I'm going to play a lot of video games because that's what I do for fun. Yeah, lots of games. I'm going to go off on insane tangents because I have a lot of things I like to talk about, and I'll just spin if I start going, like I am right now. I have an entire wheel of tangents set up, actually. I'll show the wheel later, but I have a full wheel of just things I will go off on a tangent about that I'm planning on setting up as a point award when they get those at some point. But yeah. And then there's also 8 bears, specifically 8 bears that will kill me at some point, because I can't get this stupid magic card out of my head. And it's been stuck in my head for the last 2 days, so it made a spot into my slideshow somehow. Well, I don't even know what slide I forget what slide I have next. I'll be honest, I forget what I have after this. Oh, right, it's my full model. So here's my full model. It was made by Ryuto, and there's their Twitter handle, or X handle, I guess now. You can go message them if you want, but you will have to use Google Translate because they are Japanese. But they said simple English supported, and they will use a translator to talk to me for help with the model, which is really nice of them. But yeah, let me put myself back in the corner, now you see my full model. Oh wait, one sec. I got a few toggles too I can show. I got that one, I got the crying face, and I got this one, which you've definitely seen before, because I like this one the most, because it removes the light from my eyes. And then I got the blushy one. Blushes cutely. Ooh woo. Okay, I need to cut that out of the VOD, by the way. This is why I can't be allowed to stream. I just don't have a filter. Let me put myself in the corner where I can sit in despair. Oh wait, I need to be in the other corner. I remember what slide I have next. I have to go the other corner. Here you go. This was made for... If you don't know what this is, it wasn't made for you. If you understand what this is, get working on it. If this confuses you, you are not the target audience. But Vox is very happy because he understands fully. Anyways, that's my super secret lore for anyone who cares. Anyways, and then time for the most important thing. Let me put myself in the corner. Why am I a VTuber? I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know why I'm a VTuber anymore. This was done one night at like 5 p.m. and I did everything on impulse. Which means, here's the thing. This isn't cheap to do. This is somewhat expensive what I've set up. which means I'm way too deep now, and I am in sunk cost mode. It is fun, I'll give it that. And if you want the real lore, here, I'll move it way down here for a second so you can read it. I watched a stream by Pippa. It says, here's how you be a VTuber for cheap. And I'm like, yeah, I could be a VTuber for cheap. And then I proceeded to not be a VTuber for cheap. Yeah, I know. Look, here's my thing. I took life advice from Pippa. I ended up spending about 10 times the amount I thought I would have to. There's my life advice. If you want to be as good as I am as a VTuber, it's not $200. I mean, yeah, this could be you for a little more money than I'm willing to talk about at the moment. And what else? Oh, I got my short-term schedule. So in the short term, I'm planning on going Monday to Friday from like 6:45, 7ish to 10ish. I won't be every day because there's things I need to do some evenings, but I also don't know what days I will do, so I don't have set days yet. Saturday is morning and or evening streams. Sorry, morning and or afternoon streams, not evening streams on Saturday, depending on what time I'm up and what times I feel like streaming. They'll always be ended by 5ish at the latest. If you know, you know. I will probably be here every Saturday, though, unlike weekdays, unless something comes up. And then Sunday is no stream day, because that's my board game group day. And or sleep rest day if I don't sleep. Which has been a thing the last couple of days. Long term, I don't really know. I don't know about weekdays because I don't know my full schedule yet, but Saturday should always be a stream day for me. And that's the debut slides. Thank you for coming to my Google Slides presentation. I rushed through that because I'm very nervous. I'll be honest. Despite the fact there's no one here to see it, this was like a school presentation. I was like nerve-wracked. If you remember my favorite games list, that is on the test I do have scheduled for August 31st. Although if enough of the class can't make it, I can be persuaded to postpone the test to September 2nd if needed. So yeah, any other questions about my very, very cool slides? If anyone has any questions, now's the time. Otherwise, I'm going to get back into the normal Overmind streams. Shout out to everyone who's going to show up late and have missed the wonderful debut I just had. Debut speedrun, that was what, 15 minutes? Someone put that on speedruns.com. For socials to share, this was not in depth. If it was in depth, I'd be here for 3 hours, Vox. But socials would be just the things in my bio. So I got my YouTube, which I will post the mostly highlights to. I'm gonna post the full debut VOD too. Not the full VOD, but just this. Sarcasm? Okay, you have to understand. I am a wreck right now. I can't understand anything, let alone sarcasm. The other thing would be I have an X now that I've made. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but if you want to reach out to me on like X/Twitter, I'm there. Thank you, Vox. I wouldn't know what to do without you for plugging my socials. Anyways, this has been my Google Slides. Anyways, now that I'm done that, we can go back to normal Overmind stream. Oh, say hi to the tangent wheel. It can make a surprise appearance. Well then, so I had to think a bit about what I wanted to actually stream today, because this is like a debut game stream. So I had a few ideas. Number one, which it would be obvious you know me, is my first thought was I could stream crosscode, but... Oh, that's loud. That's so loud. I'm sorry, my game just deafened me. You have to give me a second. Ow. This is why we run it through my headset before it hits yours. There we go. Anyways, so what was I saying? Right, I was talking about what I want to stream. So originally I thought about crosscode, but start from the beginning. You just I need to end. Oh, I need to cut the VOD because I don't want this to be too big. Oh, I'm forgetting everything. I had so much